I want you folks to play these 3 games from the NLA. Daily pick 3 cash flow and play with. You will be supporting sports and culture, nation building and our future. So go out and play, folks, make it a must. You will see what the National Lottery is doing for us. When you play pick 3 cash flow and play with, the NLA will support you all the way.
Starting September 30th, Monday to Friday, these 3 games will be drawn mid-morning, 9:45 a.m., midday, 12:45 p.m., and evenings, 7:45 p.m. The National Lotteries, supporting sports, culture, and nation building.
Sunday money day.
Everyone wants money, don't you? The National Lotteries Authority's Lotto Jackpot is $188,000. Play today for chances at improving your life. Lotto. Play and win a lot of money.
Yeah. Welcome to Ride Along Live for today. It is Wednesday. Beautiful Wednesday. Favorite day of the week. Yeah, Wednesday. Wednesday is my favorite day of the week. Hump day, guys. Welcome to the ride. And today, this Wednesday, we have some great information for you. Some really good information for you. So here's what I want everybody to do right now. Share. Click that share button, put it on a page, invite a friend, because we are going to be helping you with a problem that a lot of people are having at this moment. Whether it means someone who is at consular right now or heading to the consular office somewhere in the islands, Barbados, Jamaica, Trinidad, wherever, to obtain your visa, and you have questions or you have problems and you want some guidance. Today we're going to provide you with some free information right here. Also, if you're thinking about adjusting your status, right? You're living here in the United States and you want to find out how you could adjust your status. Yes, we are going to tell you that as well. We have attorney at law and a global, get this guys, a global immigration consultant. You never had it this well. You never had it this good before, guys. Trust me. Trust me. Normally, by the way, you'll have to pay consultation fee if you needed to speak to these ladies, right? But we're making it affordable. Very affordable. Very, very affordable. You can get a chance to ask your question today for free. All right? Donna, big up yourself. Thank you so much. Let me share the program as well. There are so much people who told me, yes, they want that information. Go ahead and share it. Big up yourself, Glenda, Princess, Margaret. How you doing? Big up yourself. Thank you so much, Margaret. We appreciate you so much. Guys, and you know, sometimes when we have really good information, a lot of people shy away from it. They like the bacchanal, they like the commerce, they like the politics, they like all of that craziness. But today, none of that stuff is information. So help me introduce right now on the program. I am happy. See them ladies and them there right there? You see them ladies and them there right there? Whoa, ladies, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
I wore pink today because I was in the presence of queens. I said, I'm going to just wear the pink,
That's right.
You know what I mean? Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome. She is a global immigration consultant. She is the baddest thing that ever walked. Nadia from Consular Queen. Nadia, how you doing, my friend?
I'm doing great, Mr. George, and thank you so much for having me.
No problem. Well, listen, we want to extract so much information from you because the public been asking, and I think that you provide the best possible information money could buy right now. She is from the beautiful island of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Yeah.
What island girl?
Island girl.
Yes.
Attorney at law. Hazelwood, how are you?
I'm doing well. A little jet lag, but I'm good.
Yes, because listen. Buddy told me that you just got into one of my favorite parts of the world.
Yes,
Yes, you in Ghana.
I am.
I jealous you. Here's the word I jealous. I real jealous you. No lie, I
I'll send
real
my
jealous.
private jet to go get you right now.
Yeah, please do, man. I really jealous you. Those ladies are a part of uh, the Legal Rebel,
That's
the
right.
Winter Legal Law Academy. I hosted an event in Tampa, and I got a chance to meet these beautiful ladies. And I said, you know what? With the information that they have, I have to. Whatever it took, I had to get them on the program here. So I'm happy that you guys took me up on the offer and here to chat with us and give us some information, right? So let's start with Nadia, Counselor Queen. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Nadia.
So, of course, I noticed that you identified St. Vincent, but I'm from Jamaica, all right?
Oh God!
Islanders here,
You
but
listen.
the
The
only
minute time you
island
open your
country that
mouth,
is here.
and speak, everybody don't know.
They should know, right?
Yes, yes.
So, I'm from Jamaica, of course, and I'm new, but not so new in the immigration arena. I have been making some strides, particularly trying to get persons from outside in.
Right,
When I speak to outside in, we're talking about from countries outside of the United States
right.
into the United States. So yes, that's my specialty, and I'm the consular queen, and consular is the same for embassy or the consulate.
Right, absolutely, absolutely. And we're going to learn a lot more about you. And of course, my friend Hazelwood, attorney at law, how are you doing? Tell us a little
Yeah,
bit about yourself.
I'm doing great. As you said, I'm from St. Vincent and the Grenadines, the gem of the Antilles. You
Yeah.
know, they forget about us small island people,
They
but
could never, they could never, they could never.
so I'm happy, I got shouted out today because St. Vincent is like, when I tell people I'm from St. Vincent, they're like, where? And, I have to explain to them in proximity where it is. But I'm from St. Vincent. I migrated to the United States when I was 7. I'm currently a practicing attorney, have offices in New York, Michigan, and Virginia. We're
Wow.
about to open an office in Atlanta, and we have an office here in Accra, Ghana, where I am right now. I practice immigration law and family law, so I like to call myself a famigration lawyer. So
For migration.
yeah, I just put them together, and that's what I call myself, famigration. So all
Nice.
things family law, all things immigration, I'm just so passionate about it and passionate about giving back to my community.
Nice. All right. So let's start from the beginning. Let's start from visas, right? Let's start from visas. Nadia, Counselor Queen, you are the best that ever did it. I've heard. Deanna Winterfund, they told me all about you. You make the impossible possible. Like you make pig fly. Like you are so freaking good. You are that good. Coxsackie Queen, one of the problems that a lot of the people, a lot of our viewers, especially in Grenada, St. Vincent, small islands, one of the problems that they have is that they don't have a consular office in their country. So, like for Grenada in particular, if Grenadians need to get a visa, they need to travel to Barbados. So, one, they are spending an excessive amount of money to travel. Then they are spending for hotels and you name it, all those stuff. And then sometimes they go and they ain't get it. It's double, triple disappointment. They lose the money and all of that time and they still don't get it. Tell us about some of the things, some of the common mistakes and problems that some people make when they are applying for a United States visa from the islands.
All right, so let me just do a small breakdown here. There are two types of visas. There's the non-immigrant and there's the immigrant. And I believe you're asking about the non-immigrant. So we're gonna
Yes.
stick on the side of the non-immigrant. Now, the non-immigrant has a long length of letters, and but the most popular though is the B1, B2, which you have alluded to, right?
Right.
So I'll always suggest to an individual, the first thing to do is to be assessed and be assessed by a professional. Don't take what your neighbors tell you. A girl had told you that. Boy had told you that. Somebody when 3 years told you that. You need you need a
All right. Okay.
No, you haven't lost me.
Okay. All right.
Right.
Yeah.
So they need to seek a professional, an expert, or a professional that handles this to do an assessment of their case. So, first of all, if you're not employed, and when I speak to employed, I mean working for yourself or working for someone else.
Right.
If you're not either of those, I think it's not a good idea for you to apply to throw your money in the ring. You're going to lose your money doing that.
Okay. So let's take it very very slow. You're saying that if someone is sitting in the islands right now and they are thinking about applying for a U.S. visa and they're not employed, they're
At all.
unemployed, right? You don't think it's a good idea for them to apply for a visa?
It's not a very good idea, even though I will say to you it depends, because it depends on what they're coming for, because the same visa could be used to come for a medical purpose.
No, but we're speaking about a visitor visa right now.
Yeah, the same visa is used for that purpose. So
Okay.
that's why I'll say to you, it depends, right?
Right.
However, you're not work. How are you going to show stability? Being married alone, or thinking that being married and have a number of children make you stable is not sufficient. How will you finance yourself? The embassy needs to know this. So even though they don't ask you to take in your financial statements, to look at them, they will assess your job, because they ask you how much do you earn per month in your currency. So they can make their assessment from that. So I will say to an individual, before you fly to another nation, because you have like Caymanians that uses the Jamaican embassy also. It's important that you have your case properly assessed and you're sure that it's good at this time for you to apply, so that you don't lose triple sometimes that money, because
Yeah.
you have to move into another island. And some people lose more than some.
Yeah.
And some
Yeah.
people lost night rest. And
Yeah.
some people don't do well with losing.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
so there's depression that kicks in on the side for some persons.
Right. Very important topic. And guys, I know a lot of you guys want to know about adjustment of status and stuff. Hazelwood is going to really talk about that. But I want to zone in on this. I want to zone in on this a bit, because it is the one of the most problematic thing that I've heard from some of our viewers. Now, what if the person is not employed, but they own a little business?
That's
They have
employment.
something.
That's employment.
Right.
Self-employment is employment.
Right. Boom. Right. We're getting into the meat of it. No, self-employment is employment, but some people, they may have like a micro business. They might sell little things,
Employment.
Employment still.
Employment. Is it taking in money?
Yes.
Employment.
They're selling corn.
Employment.
Skin up.
Employment.
Okay. We established that. Right? So any source of income, business, micro, small, whatever you have, and you get in money, you could have that as a source of employment.
It is a source of employment.
Right. I hope all you're writing that down. No, let's talk about ties, because that's a word that is very, very widely used. The immigration officer in Barbados or Jamaica want to establish that you have some kind of ties to your country, so that you're not going to leave and become a burden on the United States. Tell us about how that is established.
All right. So the first thing I think I'd want to do is to let us change that word from ties to stability. So you need to establish some level of stability. Sitting in a job 5 years, 10 years, not bad. You're a part of a club, you're a part of the Kiwanis, you're a part of Toastmasters. You know, there are different clubs and societies, Chamber of Commerce, you name it. You're basically tied to your community, you're actively involved in your community. This is somebody that is likely to go on a vacation and return. Likely, even though anybody can leave. But that's a person that is likely to return.
Right. And that is something that is a heavy burden. That is something that the officer really look at.
If I may point out, I find that a number of nationals, and I will say nationals because as you'd have known, Junior, the Caribbean is not the only set of countries that I work with. There's Zimbabwe, there's Ethiopia, you name it. There are other countries, but what I can say, a number of countries and national believe that being married is a big deal.
Right.
Even if you're not working on that style. So being married, have 5 children, that's great. But guess what? If you're not married, you're just not married. Because if you're not married and you decide to say that you're married so that you could get the visa and then you come into the United States, and guess what? After meeting the love of your life, then you move over to Hazelwood and she's supposed to go on adjustment for you. And guess what? USCIS is going to have a problem with you because they want to know what has happened with that first marriage. Where's the divorce?
Right.
So this is when you'll need Hazelwood in court to say, listen, I made a mistake. Can you forgive me? And that forgiveness costs money.
Right. Okay. So let's move on a little bit. So you went in, and I'll come back to you. I'll come back to you because I there are some nitty-gritty issues that I want to address. So Hazelwood, you
Yeah.
deal a lot with adjustment of status, and
Yes.
in terms of you have an individual who is seeking to adjust their status, whether they came here illegally or legally, whatever, but they're looking to gain a green card. What are some of the quickest and easiest way, legal quickest and easiest way for someone to obtain a U.S. visa?
Okay.
Sorry, not U.S. visa, a green card here in the U.S.
Okay, so I just want to just touch on something that you just said, because you said the person came in legally or illegally. So I want to touch on that because there's a difference between somebody being legal and somebody being lawful, or someone being illegal and someone being unlawful.
Uh-huh.
And that is very important for adjustment of status. So if you are considered illegal, that means that you entered the country without inspection. So you came in a way where you avoided some type of customs officer, right? So in that case, you cannot even adjust status. We would have to send you back to consular clean, right? So I'll have to file a waiver and then we'll have to send you back so you can get consular processing, because what happens is that you get a bar, right? And then I can go a little bit more into it, but I'm just going to touch on the surface. So the other one is that you are unlawfully in the country. That means that you came in with some type of visa and you've overstayed that visa.
Right.
So that's the gate, that's the green light that, yes, I can adjust status inside the United States, because adjustment of status is a term of art. That means that you can legally change your status inside of the United States based on how you entered the country. So
Right.
a lot of people.
Hold on, Hazelwood. Don't move too fast because I'll be kind of slow sometimes. Apologies.
Okay.
Pardon me. So you're saying that if I came into the United States uninspected, I came through the border at Canada, whatever. I came in on the wrong name, whatever. In order to adjust my status, you have to send me back to my country to go through the process again?
Yes, and it wouldn't be adjustment of status
It would be
because now
customs
you
processing.
exactly. So we would have to file your petition, file it with the waiver, wait until the waiver is approved. Then you would have to go back to your country and then go through the consular process in there, because you came in illegally. And what happens is that you get a bar, whether it's 3 years, 5 years, whatever the bar is. There is a bar for you for entering that country illegally.
I see. I understand. So let's talk about now. Is it then much easier if someone came through inspected, but they overstayed? They came with a legitimate visa. They went to the consulate, they got a legitimate visa, but they overstay. You get 6 months, they 10 months, 9, 11 months, 11 years, whatever, and they overstay. Is it then easier for them to adjust their status here?
Not really. It depends on what category you fall into. So, for example, if you are a child, in the category of a child, unmarried, over 21, you came in with a visa and you overstayed, you still would have to go back to your country to do consular processing, because if a parent is filing for you, that's a United States citizen, that parent cannot forgive your overstay. Yes. If you are if a spouse is filing for you, the spouse can forgive that overstay. If you are an unmarried child under 21 and a parent is filing for you, the parent can forgive that overstay. So it depends on what category you fall into.
I see. Listen, guys, we're giving all you some very important information, but I don't want to hog the whole program. I don't want to take up all the questions. So I'll give you guys an opportunity to call in right now. If you want to call in, the number on the screen, 718-701-5720. Guys, on a regular day, these professional ladies and them have consultation fee. But just because we're nice and we ride along live, we're giving you an opportunity to speak to those ladies and them right here. So please take advantage of this opportunity. You don't come every day, and we only have them for an hour. So call, ask your question, because I know you guys have a lot of questions. And even if you want to say you're calling for a friend, I don't care. It don't matter to me. You know what I mean? The number that you call, 718-701-5720. The number on the screen, 718-701-5720. Hazelwood, I'll come back to you, but I still want to dive in a little bit on the consular services. Now, again, Nadia, you're the best. Nadia, if someone go in to the consular office and they attempt to get a visa and they were turned down from getting the visa, how long do they have to wait till they reapply for a visa again?
All right, so I could say to you that it depends, and it depends on the situation and reason for the visa. Let's say if it was an emergency purpose, then you'd want to try as soon as possible again. If it's just for a regular visiting, then you may want to wait at minimum 1 year. Why is that my recommendation? Because depending on what the issue is, it's unlikely that it can be fixed in under 12 months. So let's say when you went there, you were probably 11 months into the job. If you go back there in 12 months, then you'd have been 2 years into that job. So there's a little bit more stability now. You're likely to stay a little longer in that job.
All right. How about I look at a situation that may occur that may better your chances, right? One, you're married. You are employed. All right. You're a teacher, not a lawyer, a teacher, a banker. However, if you have all of these accolades already, you're employed and you have all those things, what could possibly prevent you from getting a visa when you go to the consular office?
All right, so all these cases need to be treated on an individual basis. So my first question is this: have you applied before? And if your answer is yes, then I would like to have an idea of what you had communicated before, because you could have communicated some inaccuracy. You could have communicated some things that needed a little bit more time to mature. So would need to have that kind of information. Also, I know you're a bank. I know you're a teacher. How long have you been working? What kind of teacher are you? You name it. So we could dig a little deeper into the situation. So I would have broad brush to say, oh yes, you're good, or oh yes, or oh no, you're not good. We need to see the case on an individual basis and dig below the surface as an individual.
All right, let's talk about obtaining a visa to travel to the United States if you are sick, you are seeking treatment, cancer treatment, surgery, what have you. I've heard that it is very difficult to obtain a visa under these circumstances, right? What is the procedure if someone is seeking to travel for an emergency basis, on an emergency basis?
So I would like to look at it from both sides, from an emergency being here and from an emergency being in the other country. But let's start with the other country first, which is the question you have asked. All right. So persons will say to you that it's difficult. It's difficult because they are sometimes not able, the family here in the United States is sometimes not able to show the finances, show either you in the other country or your family. You're just not able to show how you will finance that procedure that you're going to go through, and you just cannot come on your visa and just go on the public system and decide that you're going to deplete the resources. It doesn't work like that, and the embassy is going to evaluate it on that basis. If you are able to prove that, Listen, the embassy is run by human beings, and they are pretty quick with cases like these on both sides, from here in the US and back in the country outside of the United States. So if you have everything ready within 3 days, that person's visa can be ready and they're ready to go. And likewise in the opposite. Let me tell you a little bit about the opposite side. So a family member from a Caribbean country is here in the United States. They're falling into a major accident or maybe same cancer, and they're at the last end, wit's end. It's going really bad now. Once I can get documentation to say this is the situation, and I speak with the embassy, usually the next day you get an answer, and the next day you have an appointment. So that is also solved in 3 days.
I see. Quick and easy. All right. Here's the wood. Let's talk about a situation where you may not need to go to the consular to get a visa. So say, for instance, you go to Grenada, you go to St. Vincent, and you see a nice, nice darky, real nice. You guys hook up, and you decided, no, you want to marry this darky. You want to marry this lady. This lady want to marry this man, right? How could they petition for that person that they don't have a visa, they live in the islands? How could they petition for that person to marry them and get them in to live with them in the United States?
So they would still need a visa. Even though it's a pathway to a green card, they will still have to go through consular processing because the spouse would be out of the country. So they would need a spousal visa. So they get married in St. Vincent. They show that they're in a bona fide marriage, just like how you would have to show that you're in a bona fide marriage here. You do the same thing. And then what happens is that it's a two-part process. The first part of the petition is sent to USCIS. After that is approved, only thing that petition does is approve that, yes, there is an established relationship. It does not give you any visa status or any visa benefits. So after that petition is approved, they then send it to NVC for to collect the rest of your documents from St. Vincent, police certificate, medical, all of those things. And then you still would have to go to the embassy in Barbados to do that interview.
I see. So you still have to go to get a visa, right?
Yes, if your spouse is out of the country, you would still have to go through consular processing.
What are some of the things that could disqualify you from getting that visa?
Which one? The spousal visa?
Yeah, in your
Okay.
country, yeah, the spousal visa. What would disqualify that person from obtaining a visa to come?
One of the biggest things that I see is that that person has been married before and the person has not yet been divorced. So a lot of people think like, okay, because you're married in St. Vincent, for some reason, the United States government is not going to know that you've been married. So they take the risk, which they shouldn't do. For whatever reason, let's say it's Ghana right now. Let's say some part of Africa. For whatever reason, it takes a long time for them to obtain that divorce certificate, and they're just like, all right, whatever. It's a totally different country. I don't need the divorce, and then bam, you get denied because they found out that you've been married before. So that's the biggest thing that come across my desk. So make sure you're divorced because that part that's really important.
I see. That is one thing. And I know that someone said it's important for your police report to look pretty good.
Yes, but I've had people that have approval that had police records. So it's basically like, what have you been doing since this particular incident happened? How have you changed? How have you rehabilitate yourself and your reputation in your community? So if you have a police, and it depends on the crime, but I don't want people to think that a police record is just like an all end all to it. Like there's no hope. There is hope.
Right. Okay. All right. Get it right. Okay. Someone sent me a question here on text, right? I'm gonna summarize it in part. She said that her sister filled out a visa application on her behalf, and she made some errors on the application, such as her mom's birthday. She didn't put her current job, and her graduation year is incorrect. Would that affect her chances of getting a visa? Councillor Queen?
All right, so that individual need to reach out to me so that I can go a little bit deeper into that. But I don't see a reason why they would really have a problem reapplying, but I need to go below the surface to kind of understand a little bit more what's happening there.
Right.
Don't reapply before having an assessment.
Right. It's important to have a assessment. And the thing about it, which I would add, that Counselor Queen has like about 90 something percent success rate. So we're talking about no kind of PR kind of immigration consultant here. She's the best. I say she's the best. She's the best. She's the freaking best. Deanna Winter told me about you. She said, you're the one. You're the one. I had a question, it just slipped me. So let me try to reach out and see if we have another question in the chat right here. 718-701-5720. That's a great opportunity for you guys to ask your question. You could call in, you could text, you could do your friend, you're asking for a friend, any one of those things. You could do that right now. Let's jump this next question to Attorney Hazelwood. Attorney Hazelwood, after someone obtain a green card, right? So they obtain that green card, and, you have to wait that 2 years period in order for them to stay together for 2 years in order for them to get the citizenship. But before that 2 years time, the relationship break up, the thing mash up, things start to happen. How could that person move on, or could that person still move on to file for the citizenship?
So you're talking about the 2 years to remove the conditions from the green card?
Yes, the conditions.
Okay. So yes, you can still have your conditions removed even after you've been divorced. The standard is a little bit higher, but you just have to show that you were married to be married. So you were in a bona fide relationship and it didn't work out. A lot of my clients, we use a lot of affidavits. It's funny today because I was speaking with one of the legal rebels, and he actually got the ex-wife to write an affidavit for his client, stating that it was her fault that the marriage ended. And I was like, yeah, slam dunk. So yeah, that is good. That is a really good one. I mean, a lot of the situations aren't like that. So sometimes you'll get affidavits from friends and from family members who can attest to the marriage. But if your marriage doesn't work, I mean, like Counselor Queen says, these are human beings that are at these entities. They know things don't work out. So don't think like, oh my gosh, my marriage is not working out, I'm about to be deported. Call my office and then we can help you out.
Absolutely. I like that. You see, if I knew about this whole thing, if I knew about you guys when I was going through my problems donkey years ago, I wouldn't have gone through all these problems. You see, and we're giving all these people all this information here, and they know that this thing don't come easy. Giving you guys an opportunity to ask your question. 718-701-5720. Anyone could jump on this one. What are some of the problems and issues that you see most often, Hazelwood, with someone that's trying to adjust their status? What are some of the common issues and problems that you find?
Through marriage or just like?
You say through marriage.
Okay. So this one might sound funny, but I have a lot of people that come to me and they say, hey, I want to adjust my status or whatever through marriage, but they're not married. And they don't have anyone that they could want to be married to. And right. And they're like, can you help me? And I'm like, no, like I'm not a dating service. So the first thing is like, you actually have to have someone. And then the other one too is you have to have someone that wants to go through the process with you, right? So it's not enough to say I'm married. You can't drag that person down to Federal Plaza and make the person do the interview. You can't, forge the person's signature on the I-130. Like this person has to want to go through the process with you. Another situation that I see, and it's a little bit more serious, and it ties in with my family law, is domestic violence. People that have gotten married and they feel trapped and they feel stuck in that relationship just because they want their green card. That ticket means a lot to them, but they're going through physical abuse, verbal abuse, emotional abuse. So then we would have to direct them to another avenue that can help them. But from my office, like those are the three top hurdles that we encounter when we file these adjustment of status for spouses.
All right. We got a phone call. Let's take this call right now. Caller, you're live. Where you're calling us from? Hello? Hello, caller. Hello? Hello? All right. Caller got cold feet.
Yeah, they're probably calling our offices right now, you know?
Yeah.
They're like, forget calling Junior.
Why go to the middleman? Terrence is asking, if you're applying for your sister, how long does it take?
Long.
Yes, that's
Almost
too
two
long.
decades. Almost 2 decades.
Exactly. Try a
Right.
different route. Too
Okay,
long.
how about this one? Okay, the person's calling back again. Let me see if okay, caller alive, hello?
Hello?
Yeah, hi, how you doing, caller?
Oh, hi.
Yes. Here's what I want you to do. Here's
Hi,
what I want you to do,
Junior.
caller. Hold on. Here's what I want you to do. Turn down your TV or your computer, whatever is in the background. Turn that all the way down and talk to me on the phone. Let's have a phone conversation.
Okay, I'm here now.
All right, go right ahead, caller.
You hear me now?
Yes, I'm hearing you fine.
Okay, so if somebody, both people, oh, I should say hi, Junior, hi, panel. You guys sounding good.
Yes.
Hi.
If, two people got married, and they are both from different countries, right? But they're legal in the country, in Canada, and the one of the spouse, one is from Grenada, and the other one is from another country.
Mm-hmm.
To get a Grenadian passport, the husband, what he has to do? What's the procedure?
I think this question is for you, Junior.
For me?
Because just establish that this is a U.S. immigration platform.
Yeah, and the
Portal.
two people are in Canada and they want a Grenadian passport. So tell them how to get
Caller, you have to call the Grenada embassy or something like that to help you out with that.
I thought Junior knew everything.
Huh? No, I'm a learning progress. Okay, I am. But no, you will have. Okay, tell you what. After the program, or send me your number, and after the program, I'll send you off to someone who could definitely assist you with that.
Okay, so how do I send you my number?
Yeah, just message me. Just write on the same number on WhatsApp. Message me, and I'll forward that
okay.
information for you. All right. We're talking about U.S. immigration.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Here is the next question. The next question is, the WhatsApp number, my WhatsApp number, 718-701-5720. I'm going to give those ladies numbers in a little bit. Now, two people decide to get married. And this is not a hypothetical. It actually happened. They decided to get married. They didn't really discuss this whole, adjustment of status thing. So the wife happened to have a green card. She did not have a citizenship. Whether she told him that she had her citizenship or not, anyway, she had a green card. They got married now. And he went on to try to file. Then he found out what she have is a green card. What is the process and how long will it take for him to obtain citizenship with a wife that only have a green card?
Consular.
So the first problem is if both of them are in the United States, the wife has to have legal status in the United States for her to even be able to adjust status. If not, she has to go back to her country and she would have to do consular processing.
Right.
Because remember, it depends on what category that person falls into. Right. So because it's a spouse that has a green card, it's not the same rules as a spouse that has a United States citizenship.
Yes, I understand.
So if I may,
Yes, go ahead. Jump on.
If I may, Mr. George, Attorney Hazelwood, law is running up all over our head, right? So this person is very, very likely going to need a waiver. So they will need, again, Hazelwood's help to get an approved waiver to go home, wherever home country is, to have their interview done at the consulate.
Yep.
Right.
And then we'll get Nadia to expedite that application so that they're not separated for too long.
Yes. Nadia, let's talk about visas again, right? Is there a stacking process that of importance, of a hierarchy? stacking process of importance when you presenting your documents. Like for instance, okay, you want to show this first, or you want to show this as the top at the top of the document, so that's what they see first. Is that, does that help you in the of getting expedited, or getting approval faster?
All right, so let's go. You said a visa, and I'm going to take it that you're speaking to a non-immigrant visa, which is
Yes.
a B1, B2 possibly. All right, you don't determine what the consular officer will ask you for. And by luck, you may have about 120 minutes, 2 minutes in front of the consular. If you were to probably go to Jamaica and you see in the mornings like people lining up outside of the embassy, it's possibly like 1,000 people waiting to go in. So they don't have that kind of time to go through a stack of anything. So what's most important is to ensure that that application is presented very well.
Right.
You can work with a job letter, by luck, they may ask you for it. Nobody's stressing you about a bank statement at this time, unless you have some medical reasons or so that you need to prove that you have that funding to take care of it. So stacking things and taking them, putting stuff on top versus putting at bottom in order of importance. You don't know what the consular officer is going to ask you for, and they do ask you for minimal. And when they do ask, you can't throw everything to them, because remember you have about 2 minutes at that interview. It's not a long interview, super super short. So your application needs to speak for itself before you even go in.
Right. I just got a question on WhatsApp, and I'm trying to go through it. It says that, good evening. This one is for Hazelwood. If you have a child that is American citizen and you both reside in Grenada, but after some time you want the child to go back to the US to live, but the child can go alone and doesn't have anyone that can help you take the child while he or she is there, can you file a petition that can get the mom to acquire a green card to live in the US with that child?
Only if the child is over 21 and the child can support the mother. But you have to be careful with these children that were born in the US but live in, let's say, the Caribbean or Africa. You have to make sure that you're renewing their passport. You have to make sure that their citizenship is up to date. Like, you don't want to make their passport and all that stuff lapse, because there are instances where, let's say, someone's born in the United States and they've never gotten a passport or anything, and then the child is 18 trying to go to college, and they're just like, you're not a United States citizen because you haven't established that. So you want to be careful with that. But anyway, in order to bring your mom or petition for a parent, the child has to be 21 and over and the child has to be able to support that parent.
Okay, I see. So the child have so you can have a situation where a child file for a parent if that child is not over 18, right?
If the child has to be over 21
Over
in order to
21.
21 and over in order to do
Okay.
so.
And how long would that process take?
It's pretty short. It's like a year.
Okay.
It's one of the simplest ones, especially for moms. For dads, it's a little bit different. Obviously,
Yeah.
you can understand why.
Whoa. What?
I'm sorry.
Why? Why?
Because I mean, you can show that the child is the mother. The mother is the mother of the child. You know, sometimes ladies, that's not really the father, but
So you have to have DNA and all of that stuff. That way you're saying you have to present that as the father?
yes, you have to make sure either one, your name is on the birth certificate
From
or
the
some type of
outset. From the outset.
Right.
exactly. And if it's not, and then also parents, they also look at like if your parents were married and all that stuff. And if it's not, sometimes they would ask for a paternity test. So I had an instance where they asked for a paternity test, and that wasn't my client's father.
Wow. The whole Maury show. What about adoption? Adoption. I know that's another one of your field, right?
Yes.
Tell us about some of the adoption that you see at your law practice and that you deal with.
So there are three types, but I'm going to talk about one of them, which is the immediate relative process. And that's if you want to adopt a niece, a nephew, someone in your family, or maybe even a family friend. So the biggest hurdle that I see is that 2 year requirement where you have to have physical custody of the child. So what does physical custody mean? Physical custody means that you must have resided with the child for 2 years. So this child is out of the country, you're in the United States. How do you show that? So USCIS says that it can be before the adoption, it can be after the adoption, it can be even after, after the adoption was filed. And it doesn't have to be like, okay, I'm getting up and leaving the US and living in St. Vincent for 2 years. It can be over a period of time. So that's the biggest hurdle that I see with these adoptions. It's like, how do I show the physical custody? However, there's always an exception. So the physical custody requirement is actually waived if the child is an orphan and you adopted the child before and everything was filed before the child's 16th birthday. So an orphan doesn't mean both your parents are dead. It can mean one parent is dead and the other one, we don't know where that other parent is. So that's when they waive that 2 year requirement.
I see. I see. I'm gonna throw this one out there. Junior, I'm in the US. I'm in the US as a citizen, and my mom don't want to travel. How can I get my little sister up here? That person is an adult living here in the US. I want to get her little sister to move to the United States. What's the process?
It's different avenues, and I think Queen and I would both say like we would want to look at the sister's case, right? Because I think this person is thinking, let me file for this, let me file for my sister as a relative, but she probably or he probably doesn't even have to do that. The sister could qualify for another visa. It could qualify for an F1. It could qualify for an O. It could qualify for EB2. So I don't want our Caribbean and African people to think is that the only way to the United States is through marriage or through a B1, B2. So yes, if he were to file for his sister under a family petition, it's going to take a long time. Like Queen and I said, too long, 20 years. But maybe this sister can qualify for F1 visa, which we would like to call, which is the highway, right, to the United States immigration, because it opens so many doors. So when I hear stuff like that, I try to evaluate the case. Well, okay, let's see how else we can get this sister in the country.
Yes, yes, yes. Let me throw that other one there. Now, you are in the United States and you are out of status, but you found a job, right, that is interested in filing for you, all right, in helping you adjust the status. What's the process and what's the length of time to have a job process or try to assist you to get your green card?
I don't do much employment, but I do believe that for a job to do that, I don't think a job can forgive the overstay. So remember we talked about the category that you fall into that can forgive the overstay. But I don't do much employment. But from hearing that, that's the first thing that I would think about.
Right. Okay. All right.
Yeah,
No problem.
and if I may, Junior,
Yeah.
whenever you become out of status, the doorway closes in on you. That there's not much that you can do.
Right.
And basically that's one of what Hazelwood has alluded to.
Yeah.
Okay, I see. I see. All right, I have another question here on chat. It's coming through fast and furious on the WhatsApp, guys. I'm trying to keep up on the WhatsApp. Another question. If one has filed through the diversity visa program a year back, but don't go back in and check the email within a specific time, is there any way that they can still know if they were qualified after a few years pass? Any information on the diversity visa program?
No.
I mean, even if they were, even if they were qualified, they would have still missed the deadline, and that deadline is important. So if you miss the deadline, then that's it. But you should have gotten that email and that login, and you would be able to check. It will tell you what your status is, but then it gives you a certain length of time where you are able to file.
Okay.
I also know that it's important to follow the visa bulletin. So If that person goes on the bulletin, they can check the time they have applied and where they are now. And if they have passed their time, you know it has passed. If they haven't, then they still stand a chance. But check that bulletin. It's NVC Bulletin September 2023. And that's the most recent you can find. Just go down on it and you'll find that table.
Absolutely, absolutely. Helen is saying if someone is adopted and wants to file for their biological mother.
I'm shaking my head because I know where it's going.
You're already shaking your head.
Yes, no.
There?
And they were very smart. When I think of this law, I think about how they like forethought what would happen.
Yeah.
And they were very smart in the way that they crafted this law. So it's like you're adopted and you cut off your biological parents. You can't be like, oh, I'm adopted, now I'm bringing my biological parents with me. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
Okay, I see. So once you're adopted, you don't have that option anymore to file for your biological parents.
Mm-hmm. And let's think about it from like family law, right? When you're adopted, what you're really saying is like, whoever gave birth to me, they can no longer make decisions for me. I am no longer their child. So in the United States, again, if you're a child petitioning for a parent, if you are adopted, you have basically given up that parent-child relationship. So you can't turn around and now say, oh, you're my parent again. I didn't want you 2 years ago, but you're my parent again for the purposes of bringing you into the United States. It doesn't work that way.
Right. Okay. Someone asked a question here. Okay. Shishi, the person just deleted it because I was trying to understand it as well. So I guess they're gonna come back in with the question. Again, guys, 718-701-5720. That's 718-701-5720. If your dad or your mom is a citizen of the U.S. and his or her child is over 21, but you never file and they apply for a visitor visa, will that affect the visa being granted to them?
It's a lot of pronouns.
Yeah.
That I'm not sure.
All right. So basically what they're saying, my interpretation is that they have U.S. citizen parents or parents. They have not been filed for and would love to apply for a U.S. visa. You will be judged on your own merit.
Uh-huh.
So those things we spoke about, you being employed, staying in your job for a duration of time, you name it, you'll be evaluated on your own merit. So I wouldn't get too trapped in that. I would probably have a little bit more questions if it is that the petition was ongoing. No, I would say to you, it depends. But I don't know. So on the surface, I'm responding, but I don't know below the surface what is happening, why you're asking that.
Right.
And let me tell you, if you choose to do that application, please disclose that your parents are here in the United States and yes, they are U.S. citizens. Don't hide that because that can become a backlash for you.
Right. Someone is asking again. Okay. Could an auntie or uncle file for a niece or nephew?
No.
Okay. All right. Okay. I got some questions coming in on text. Guys, all you gonna put me through this, all you don't want to call, only text and WhatsApp straight. Call the number 718-701-5720, guys. Call the number. They get so bad, they even sending me questions on Instagram. It's crazy. All right, I'll get it still. I'll get your Instagram question. Oh boy, I'm trying to get the Instagram question. All right, here's the text question. I go to the Instagram. If you have someone in Grenada that always help you take care of your family back home and you want to give them an opportunity for them to come to get a visa, what would they need from that person to help them get to the U.S.?
All right, so call the consular queen.
Yeah.
And let us discuss the case and advise how you move forward.
Nice.
Because the person may used to take care of the family, but they are working now, so you still don't hear the whole story of that individual. But they want to bless that individual with a visa to come to the United States. That's a very good gesture. Just shout me so that we can discuss the case and the way forward.
Right on, right on, right on. Deborah is asking. How could you change your status when you legally entered lawfully and have a tax ID? So how could you change your status when you legally entered lawfully and have a tax ID? You have a job. So and if you could unpack that a bit.
So
So
that sounds like the person is saying they're still in status, Izu. You can take that question.
Yeah, I was trying to wonder if the person is still in status or out of status. So if you're okay, how can you change your status? It's kind of unclear. So if you're still in status, like again, it depends on what your qualifications. So I would want to see what other visas you would qualify for if you're in status. If you're out of status, again, only few petitions or few sponsors can forgive that overstay. And the biggest one that we know that can forgive it is a spouse. Another one that can forgive your status is a parent if the child is under 21 and unmarried. If you're over 21 and unmarried, if you're over 21 and married, the parent cannot forgive that status.
If I may,
yes.
and
Hold on 1 second. Yeah, go ahead. Queen.
if I may, and this is not legal advice, but an individual, a child, is considered in the petition process. They're considered a child or minor up to the age of 21, right? However, when it comes to unlawful presence, they don't accumulate unlawful presence until they get to the age of 18. The moment they turn 18 years old, they start to be evaluated as an adult with their stay. So they're now responsible for their overstay.
Oh, I see. I
Yeah.
see.
So that gap between 18 and 21, and petition going on, you want to be careful with that as well.
Yeah.
All right. Let's take this quick call. Caller live. Where are you calling us from?
Hi, Grenada. I'm calling from Grenada.
Grenada, go right
Your
ahead.
panel.
Yes.
Yes, the question is directed to Hazelwood. You mentioned earlier that, for instance, a child is a U.S. citizen but living back in Grenada, and you mentioned earlier that we should show that passports are renewed and so forth, and we keep up to date with documents. In terms of filing, how does that work for us?
In terms of, I didn't hear.
Filing taxes for that child. You mentioned that we should keep up to date in terms of documents such as passports and so forth, in terms of filing tax for that child. What do you advise us to do in situations like that?
Okay, so I'm not a tax professional.
So,
but the little that I do know about taxes is that if you're filing for a child, the child is a dependent on your tax. So that means the person who's filing is the person that is the United States citizen or the green card holder. When that child turns 18 and that child is working, there are some provisions in USCIS where a United States citizen, even if that citizen works abroad, can still file taxes in the United States. But I would speak with an accountant. But I do know that because I've run into that issue with a lot of my spousal visas.
All right.
Oh, thank you so much.
I thank you, Paula. All right. Alistair has a unique situation here, guys. I don't know if you could see it on the screen. Alistair says his brother has a green card. He went into Grenada on a vacation, but he didn't realize that his green card expired. On returning, the airline didn't want him to get on the flight. It's been 5 months now, and he went to Barbados and was given the return, given the runaround.
Okay, so he needs to consult a professional and provide a little bit more detail on that so that he can be helped at the consulate overseas to get back.
Yes. And he needs to be careful too, because then he doesn't want to trigger what is called an SR1 filing, where you have been, where the United States government presumed that you've abandoned your green card. And it's very, very hard to prove that you haven't. Like, that standard is so high. So 5 months, the clock is ticking. So he needs to get that under control, like ASAP.
Right. Okay. Next question here. Hi. Good evening. I am doing a VAWA, right? And I would like to know if I could file for my son green card, who is under 21, while I am waiting for my green card.
For VAWA petitions, yes.
So they could put in their child as well. That's under 21.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay, nice. Okay, all right, good. And I must add, because Deanna Winter told me that VAWA doesn't only mean
Women,
I
but
knew
men
he was
and
gonna
women.
say that.
Yeah. So turn that W upside down. It's
on the
men.
W upside down. It means so
Yeah,
if even men getting abused, you could file VAWA as well. All
Yeah.
right.
that's right.
So it's not only women that getting abused. Guys, if you've been abused by your wife or your girlfriend or your wife, you could get your green card on that basis. File a VAWA application, but it has to be legit because you can't go inside there with inadequate information and information that is not correct because especially like saying that you're married in just for the purpose of your green card. You don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Don't do it, ladies and gentlemen. You're gonna get caught and you will be deported. Take that from me. Don't do it. I've heard so many people tried it, and they end up being sent back because they ask how much windows in your bedroom, and he's scratching his head because he never even been to the bedroom. Orange.
It's
Eh?
a tricky
What
thing.
side of the bed you sleep on? You said it right. Your wife said it right. So who sleep on the left side?
On top of each other, sir.
Yeah, all
Come
right.
on, you gotta be sharp.
All right. If I may, Mr. George.
Yes.
All right. So I am big on kids. I'm
Uh-huh.
big on children, and I'm big on children uniting with their families, right? So if you have a petition overseas, outside of the United States, and you're a U.S. citizen, and if you are a green card holder and the case is current, as in there's a green card available, and it seems as if you are meeting some brick wall, you can reach out and I will see if you qualify for an expedite. And we can expedite that kid, and that child can be here. And since we're in September, depending on your case, you can have that child for Thanksgiving, for Christmas, you name it.
Oh,
Right.
right.
So that's a big part of what I also do. It works for spouses too, but
Right.
I'm telling you more about the kids now.
Right. So Lydia is asking, let me go back up to Lydia's question. She was asking if a Canadian citizen want to take up residence in the United States, what's the procedure? Let me answer that for Lydia in my way. I'll answer it in my way, all right? Don't do it. Canada. Right? Better. No, but seriously, if a Canadian want to take up residence in the U.S., what's the procedure?
It will be the same as any other country. I mean, it's not, special. You don't have a special treatment because you're from Canada. You still have to qualify and go through the process and go through the interview.
Right.
And while we're at it, so if you are in Canada and you are a resident and you are from a country like Jamaica or a country that does not benefit from the visa waiver program, reach out. The consular queen can help you to get your visa to come into the United States. All right?
And the reason why I say don't do it, listen, when I go to Canada, everything is uniform and nice. All the houses and them is just perfectly symmetric. Toronto is built with style and class, and it's
So is New York.
no dirt on the ground. Yes, garbage all over the place. Right?
So is New York.
You come to New York,
Listen.
telephone, they're running power cables inside a tree and all kind of stupidness. Don't.
all the houses are uniform in the projects, okay? they all look the same.
Listen, when they come to Brooklyn, you see one high house, one low house, one high this way, one this way. I see a tree, and this is no lie, in my neighborhood, and that is why when you see a little thunderstorm pass here, we lose power. Then people and them run the power cable inside of the tree branches. Inside of the tree branches, Like they go like this and they go like this and inside of the tree branches. How you could do that? You don't see that in Canada.
Ask those Antiguans how they do it.
Yeah, it's true. All Listen, Canada is nice. I know while you're coming in. Guys, anything we miss? Hold on. Before you guys give it, someone said, what advice would you give to an international student who want to get a green card? International student.
Get an assessment.
Yes.
And once they're still in status, there are a number of things that can be done. So get an assessment. Make sure you have your resume up to date. So whenever that assessment is being done, a decision can be made based on your resume and other things, but you'll be advised so you can move forward. Just make sure that you're not out of status. If you go out of status, then the door closes in on you.
Absolutely.
That's right.
All right, guys. So everybody asking the big $1 million question. They want your contacts because they say they need to talk to you guys in further details. Councillor Queen, let's start with you. What's your number when people reach you?
470
470.
8448.
Say it again.
470-593-8448.
8448. And that's Councillor Queen. Guys, write this number down. And as I told you guys, what you do, you stick it on your fridge.
No, that number is incorrect. It's
Hold on,
593.
you see? That's why I like to say it twice. Go ahead, say it again.
593.
470
593
Uh-huh.
8448.
8448.
Yes.
There we go. Booyah!
That's the number.
That's the number. Councillor Queen right there. Guys, write it and stick it on your fridge. If you don't need it today, you might need it tomorrow. If somebody go need it, and give it to them. All right? And let's go now. Of course, Hazelwood. Give them your contact information, where they could reach you.
917
Uh-huh.
525
Uh-huh.
4321.
For
I just want to shout out all the Canadians in the chat. Like, y'all are going crazy repping Canada. You know, forgive us, okay? Like, it's okay. Just want to give y'all a shout out. Like, y'all really like Canada.
yeah. Listen, I, every time I get a chance, I drive into Canada, and when they ask me to come out here, I don't want to leave. And listen, guys, don't call Hazelwood and unless it's no immigration matters, don't call the lady in trouble. She'll be busy. She doing a lot of things. I see people saying, oh, this and oh, that. They want your personal number. No, this is for business purposes, right? This is for business purposes, okay? Call and ask your question about
our legal rebels. Can we shout out our legal rebels that are here? I see them working hard for us in the chat, putting our phone numbers,
I can't see them.
Answering questions. Midas Counselor, Audrey, Perfect Balance Immigration. Thank you, Taras. Thank you so much for supporting us.
Yeah, man.
Thank you. And thanks for calling them up because I can't see them from here.
Yeah, they shouting all out in a big way. Big up to the legal rebels. Legal rebels.
And that's how we are. We roll together.
We collaborate.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's right. I love it. So I got some important information for everybody. Starting very soon, very, very soon, ladies and gentlemen, riders will be providing immigration service right here in New York. You guys could walk in, you guys could come in, you guys could phone in. Yeah, let's get a round of applause for that. Yeah, man, it's too many people that I see. I said we have to do this. So I phoned Diane Winter Funday and I said, Diane, let's do this. She said, Junior, anything for you, my brother. So we're going to be providing immigration services right here in New York. And of course, you see these beautiful ladies right there? They will be helping us make this thing global and helping people all over the world with their situation. So we all in this together, guys. We all in this together. Support Hazelwood, support Nadia, support riders, support Willa, support the legal rebels as we aim to help people and family around the world come together. Yeah. Boop, 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 boop. Yeah. Yeah, let me tell you, you guys were great. You guys We should do this again. I love it. You guys did well. I really love it. Yeah.
We'll be available on Wednesday again.
Yeah,
we will be.
Yeah,
and you'll see Queen and I. You'll see us working together. So
I love it. I love it. I love it. All right. So let me talk to the producers and then let's see if we could arrange a slot because this is too important not to do. This is too important not to do. Right? Let's organize something, man. We make it happen. Nadia, thank you so much. Counselor Queen, you the best. You are the best. World-renowned, 90-something% success rate in obtaining a visa, and she does it all over the world. And my good friend Hazelwood, she's right now in Ghana, my favorite place in the world, Accra, and she travels more than JetBlue. Thank you. I envy you because just a year ago I was in Accra and I didn't want to leave. Trust me, I didn't want to leave. And you're there right now, so enjoy it. It's about 10, you're going on 11 o'clock, 11:09 right now in Accra.
Yes.
You're gonna have when you're there, you feel like home. You're royalty in Africa.
It's true.
Thank you.
Because we are.
Absolutely. Well, listen, ladies, thank you so much for being so professional and giving out all this information. On a normal day, as I said, this is consultation. You have to pay for this, but today we gave it to you for free, and I hope you appreciate these young ladies and support their businesses. Give them a call. We're going to put their numbers in the chat again. Any last word you guys want to say before we wrap up?
Oh, let me just tell them, they don't need to be in Ghana or Accra to be a royalty. Just consult with the Consular Queen. They automatically become a royalty.
I like that. I like that. Guys, thanks again. We'll keep in touch, all right? Good night.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. These ladies, let me tell you, information galore. Guys, don't move a muscle. We'll be right back.
Everyone wants money, don't you? The National Lotteries Authority's Lotto Jackpot is $188,000. Play today for chances at improving your life. Lotto. Play and win a lot of money.
The Ministry of Tourism and Economic Development and the Grenada Tourism Authority extend a warm welcome to visitors and returning nationals visiting for Carnival and summer vacation. We do hope you enjoy your stay with us, and we invite you to return with friends and family to celebrate our 50th anniversary of independence on 7th February 2024. Tourism is my business, your business, our business.
Yeah. Guys, I got to give you some information right now. Look out for Kings of Kings. Kings of Kings, big soca event here in Brooklyn, New York, taking place on the 23rd of September. Get your tickets now. We just put the information for the tickets in the chat. Click it right now. Performing live, Looney Spark and Electrify. We have Kush. We have Curtin, Alma Boy, Mr. Legs, plus a host of other artists. All the information is there, information on the screen. Get your tickets now. It will be a magnificent, amazing, grand event. Get your tickets now. I want to tell you guys about this other event, guys. It's called Dancing for Dementia. Let me see if I could pull it up. Where is it? Dancing for Dementia. Dancing for Dementia. Dancing for Dementia. Yes, okay. So, Dancing for Dementia is an event that I'm very proud to tell you guys about because I'll tell you why. Let me pull up this flyer. It happens this Saturday, right? So, Dancing for Dementia is an event geared to support and help and build awareness for dementia, right? So it's taking place at the Community Connection. It's located at 2003 12 Linden Boulevard, and that is this Saturday. This Saturday. You can't afford to miss it. It starts at 1 p.m. 1 p.m. this Saturday. Dancing for Dementia. For more information, you can inbox us. we're going to give you more information on that. It's free, and you could RSVP at dancingfordementia.eventbrite.com. You could RSVP right now at dancingfordementia.eventbrite.com, or you could scan that QR code right there on the screen for more information on RSVP. This is for a worthy cause, guys. I'm also going to be dancing. I have 2 left legs. I can't really dance, but I go still try a thing. It's in Queens, guys, so come on down and dance. Let me see all your dance. I know that you're dancing for a worthy cause. Yeah. I think I have the ad. Let me see if I could pull up the ad. I want you guys to hear this because I want you guys to participate. So I could pull up the ad. Oh yeah, there we go. All right, let me pull up the ad, guys. Listen to this. This is the ad.
Queens, New York, are you ready to dance for a brighter future?
Then join us on September 16, 2023 at the Community Connection, located at 20312 Linden Boulevard, St. Albans, for All Pro Dancing for Dementia. A spectacular program dedicated in promoting dementia awareness and support for people living with dementia. Now, this event is more than dancing. It's a chance to make a difference in the lives of those affected by dementia. Come on, bring your friends and family. And on September 16, 2023, we got an exciting event lineup for you. Enjoy live music, fantastic dance performances, and even a dance-off competition.
So whether you're a seasoned dancer
Or just love to groove,
Dancing for Dementia welcomes everyone to come together and show their support.
and remember that every dance you take on the dance floor is a step closer to making a difference in the lives of someone affected by dementia. All Pro Dancing for Dementia. Together we can make a world of difference. RSVP now at dancingfordementia.eventbrite.com or call 347-942-4641. That's 347-942-4641. See you on the dance floor. Yeah, Dancing for Dementia, guys. You got to check this one out. It's for a worthy cause, all right? For a worthy cause. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being a part of our program today. We appreciate you so much. This has been another Ride Along Live. Don't forget, Ride Along Live is a platform where everyone have a story to tell. We respect everyone's opinion on this platform. We encourage everyone to share their story, but it's also everyone have information to receive. So everyone have a story to tell, and everyone should receive relevant information. So from time to time, we're going to give you information like this, which we think is essential to build our community. So we're not going out of the realm of our construct. It's important to have this information out there to our general public. All right. Thank you, guys, on behalf of all of our production team here at Ride Along Live. Our senior executive producer, Lois JJ, we say thank you so much. Lois, big up yourself. Kibbs, big up yourself. Dale, big up yourself. Catch you guys again tomorrow. Good night.